Hello, everybody, and welcome to the best hour of your week. Why? Because me and this blonde-headed buffoon are going to yell at each other for an hour about predicting games that we're probably going to get wrong with money that we don't own.
Am I a buffoon just because I'm blonde?
Yes, you notice that I've created a liquid wall. It's a moat. It's a figurative moat. I have water, I have caffeine.
I don't know if I can cross that moat.
Don't cross
You're
it.
so protected.
You're going to burn yourself or you're going to drown.
You're going to knock it over, and if you knock it over on me, your ass is grass, kid. So move this over
Stop
here.
touching my liquids. What is going on, everybody? Sims and Lefkoe, as always. If you're watching on Facebook, share. If you are listening on the podcast on Friday or later, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Sims, how did you feel? Well, hold on. Let's see how you did last week.
Right.
Let's see how you did. Let's see how I did.
I know I went 13-3 without the spreads.
You went 9-6-1 against the spread, and you made $430. What was your big bet? The Chargers.
The Chargers.
You bet how much?
800.
Wow.
I wanted to bet it all. Remember, Thanksgiving just scared me.
I went 6-9-1, so you made up a lot of ground on me. You now have a 4-pick lead over me, and I lost 310, and I have a $500 lead on you. Sims has been on a tear.
I've been doing all right.
You went 13-3 in picks.
In normal picks against the spread, of course. Yeah, I was 9-6-1. I just
9-6-1 against
I
the
needed
spread
that one. My bet last week of Saints Rams was really stupid.
We had to pick games on Tuesday.
I know.
We had no injury report. We had no idea that the Saints cornerbacks were not going to be there.
No.
We said last week,
but no
don't
excuses.
trust our.
There's no excuses. It wasn't the right. It was going against everything that you and I even talk about all the time.
What do you mean?
Just the human aspect of it. The Rams coming off a tough defeat on
Right.
the road where they played better than the score looked. The Saints got a win that they didn't deserve, so they felt better than they should have. So from just a personal aspect, as an ex-player, I knew that was wrong, and I still went with it. It just because I didn't quite believe in the Rams, and that was wrong of me.
Coming up at the end of this show, if you're listening to the audio version, I'm going to put it on the YouTube clip as well. So go to my YouTube page, just type in Adam Lefkoe 1. An interview with Moose Johnston. We actually had a great time.
We did.
Talked about the '95 Cowboys. We talked about Dion back then.
You have a YouTube page?
It's for I put all the Sims and Lefkoe stuff. Thousands of people are watching us. I'm not even kidding.
But so you can have a page on YouTube?
Well, yeah, it's like a YouTube. It's like
your
YouTube.
Right, because my little girl watches Stacy do the video games. Right?
Oh yeah, Stacy at the video games.
Stacy,
really
it's a big deal. She's killing us in views, I think. Just so you know.
But the interview with Moose Johnston was great. He talked about some of these games. He talked about what it's like talking to Sean McVay in person, which I thought was a really cool conversation.
Yes.
So that's coming up at the end of the show. What did you think of these games overall? I thought that Vegas made some mistakes, and now it's making me nervous. Because when I think they make mistakes is usually when I get screwed.
Well, I just looked at it like this. I just thought it was a tough week to pick games in general, let alone. I mean, I'm just going to throw out games that I look at. Forget the spreads. Whoa, my seat just sunk. But the thing that I look at, like Detroit at Baltimore. Baltimore is the 3-point favorite. Like,
right.
That's a coin flip game
coin
to
flip
me.
Game.
Coin flip. Okay. Washington, Dallas is a coin flip game.
Is it really?
To me, it is to a degree. I think Washington's better. I mean, but it's still very close. It's at Dallas. Dallas is desperate. I just think it's very close. Oh, you look at San Francisco, Chicago.
That's definitely a coin flip.
Who do you pick there?
Not knowing what Jimmy Garoppolo is. You got a few more coin flips?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think you go Jets, Chiefs.
Coin flip.
Coin flip. Denver versus Miami.
Yeah, coin flip.
Right. So I just looked at Tampa,
really
Green Bay. Coin flip. That's why. So I looked at it this week and went, damn, this is a tough week to just pick the games without a spread, let alone the spread.
Let's start off with the Thursday night spread. Mike Coconut says, forget the spreads. This one scares me. It's an interesting week. Both teams are 5-6. This, of course, will be coming out after the Thursday night game, but we're doing it live. So if you're watching live, this is for tonight. The line started off as Cowboys favored by 2.5. There has been a 3-point swing. Actually, that's more. That's 2.5. That's a 4-point swing. Wow, to Washington. I am going to be going Washington in this game. I think they're the better team. I'm putting $50 on it because I'm more confident than $10. I look at this and I go, without Sean Lee, they're giving up 32 points per game. With him, they're giving up 18. He's not playing.
Yes.
The last time they faced, I thought Washington was the better team.
Right.
But that turnover down there in the red zone
blocked it. Field goal, remember that? Yeah.
Zeke was in that game.
Exactly.
He had 150 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns.
Good.
So I'm looking at Washington, and I'm looking at Jamison Crowder looking to do exactly what Keenan Allen did on Thanksgiving. Own the slot. The last 4 games, Jamison Crowder's averaging about 7 catches a game, more than 100 yards receiving a game. He's a stud. Kirk Cousins finds a way to go,
Yeah.
and I like the coaching more on Washington. Both sides, I'm going to go with Washington, $50.
Agreed with you all the way. This is one of the games I felt best about betting.
You just said it was a 50-50.
It's a 50-50, but I'm just telling you, there wasn't a lot of games that I felt good about. There's only 3 games I bet. I bet $270.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's broken his own rule.
Going with I bet Thursday 800 on the Chargers on Thursday football last week.
Yeah, but that was
okay.
different.
Yeah, but that was a different day. It was Thursday, just like this Thursday. Shut your mouth. Okay. You made a lot of good points. I think you really hit it on. I'm not going to explain a lot about this. Either way, Washington's a good football team.
But
They're
why
better than Dallas.
Why so confident?
Well, I feel I'm gonna. First of all, my pick. I'm picking the Redskins to win the game, 27-20. What can you feel confident about the Dallas Cowboys right now? Right? Let's just start there. Their offense is atrocious, okay? We've seen the importance of the O-line and Ezekiel Elliott. The O-line's still banged up, everybody. It's not going to be 100% once again. Even if Tyrone Smith is out there, it's not going to be 100% Tyrone Smith. Zach Martin just got out of concussion protocol, it sounds like, right?
Yes.
And who else? There was another one that's banged up as well on the offensive line. I thought there was another injury. But regardless, the defense scares me too. Again, just like we saw with the Chargers game. When you can block the front of the Dallas Cowboys, and the Redskins O-line is looking kind of healthy. Trent Williams a little banged up.
And even when they're hurt,
they still do a good
gets
job.
the most
Exactly
out of
right.
them.
Well, they have great depth and good players there. So, yes, I just look at that and go, it's too much. Now you can block Dallas, the secondary for Dallas, their defense, the scheme they play. It's as simple as can be, and they're not that talented. They're going to have their way. I think
My guy Torge is asking this. What can you expect from Dak? This is probably a fantasy question, but in real life too. Dak against Washington's defense. Minuski usually dials it up well.
This is the kind of matchup that would scare me for a Dak, not necessarily because of Dak, but more because of the Dallas Cowboy offense that just lacks creativity. So much of their offense is based on that run game.
And Minuski's been predicted well all
he's
year.
Great at when you're kind of predictable. He does a great job of taking away staples of your offense. And, hey, Josh Norman's healthy, 100%. When they want to lock up on Des Bryant and do that stuff, that's the big thing with Dallas right now. Dak Prescott, is he playing as good as we'd like? No, certainly not. But I'm not sitting here going to go Dak Prescott's the problem. Pass protection's been the problem. And, of course, no receivers can get open. Forget the blandness of the offense.
Yep.
The teams right now are disrespecting the Dallas receivers. They are getting up on their face and going, we're not scared of any of you people, and they can't get open. So that's why.
Navarro is saying, I thought Sims doesn't bet on Thursday night football games.
I'm doing it this week.
Are we almost done Thursday night football?
It's getting there. It's towards the end.
Like one more week left?
Maybe 2 more.
I am so happy for that to end.
So, yeah, I hear you.
Let's get back to these.
This is a normal
weeks.
week, though, for them.
It is because they both play on Thursday.
Right. So it's not a normal Thursday.
So we're both. I was almost too confident in Washington.
Yeah,
like in my Lefkoe lock video, I was like, "This is the most confident I've been all year." For
I only had 3 games. I bet.
The last time I was this confident,
yeah.
I took the Bengals over Deshaun Watson and the Texans, and I was like, "This is a guarantee." All right, let's move on. Sunday, 1 o'clock, and we have a really good quarterback against a really good defense. Detroit is 6-5, Baltimore is 6-5, and both of these teams are fighting to get into the playoffs right now. Baltimore's defense is really good. They are still my least favorite team to watch in the NFL.
Would agree with
Why? Because it's 3 hours dedicated to watching the Ravens defense shut someone down, pin them deep with their good punter, and then just survive and hope that Alex Collins breaks a run.
Right.
They're not a fun team to root for. I am going to be going with $50 on Detroit +3. I went through and I started looking at Baltimore's schedule.
Yeah.
And the one thing that did you do this too?
Well, I mean, I know.
I wanted to see who the best quarterbacks were that they faced.
Right.
Did you do that?
Well,
and what I noticed, I'm going to keep cutting you off. What I kept noticing was, wow, they're getting really fucking lucky right now. They played Tom Savage in the Texans. They played Brett Hundley in the Packers. I'm not a big fan of Mariota. They played Jay Cutler when he wasn't even doing that.
They lost to Mariota, too.
Lost to Mariota. Right. Jay Cutler. They lost to Case Keenum. They lost to Mitchell Trubisky, who threw for like 60 yards. They didn't even play Derek Carr. They played E.J. Manuel on the Raiders, and they won that game. Big Ben, Bortles, Deshaun Kaiser, and the first week against the year, Andy Dalton. They have not faced anyone as good as Matt Stafford this whole year.
Agreed.
And so this defense is really good, but I'm just thinking 3 points the Ravens can barely score.
Did you put your money up? What'd you bet?
I put $50.
Okay.
I'm just really pumped, bro.
No. Okay. I wasn't sure I missed it. Listen, no, I think you're right on. I mean, how many points do you want to make until we can move on here? Okay. I'm taking the Detroit Lions for $10. I think they're going to win the football game. 19-16 is what I picked. But I think, again, yes, I look at it just like this. This is just to make it simple and quick, and let's move on. Matthew Stafford, is he one of the 3 best quarterbacks in football this year? No, he's not one of the 3, but he's one of the 5, okay? Because Russell Wilson, Wentz, and Brady are the top 3 this year. But still, Stafford is amazing. They have an offensive line that can block and pass protect. This Baltimore defense is not the dominant Baltimore defense we've seen in the Super Bowl runs and the years they faced Brady and all that. So I don't think they're capable of carrying the team, like you said, against teams that have a quarterback.
Right.
So there's just not enough there. And then the offense, I have zero faith. I got to see it to believe it. It's the worst offense in football, or certainly in the conversation. There's nothing to be scared about. And Alex Collins sounds like he's a little beat up.
Yes.
So for all of those things, I just think Detroit will win the game outright. 19-16, it'll be ugly, but yeah, Matt Stafford's going to make a few plays to get them over the hump.
Baltimore wants to fight you in a phone booth, and Detroit goes, I'm just not going to go in the phone booth.
Well, yeah, they've given up on the phone booth. They can't run.
Stephen Booth, I want to apologize to Sims about my rude 401k comment the other week when you bet everything on the Pats beating the Raiders. I hope you made out. Just don't disrespect Raider Nation.
I don't like to disrespect Raider Nation. If you've watched me here on Bleacher Report, I mean, I'm like a closet case Raiders fan. I really am. I'm frustrated with them this year because they haven't made some adjustments. But I'm not going to disrespect Raider Nation. I can promise you that.
Yes. No, I like Detroit. I mean, look, Detroit could also mess up a wet dream, as someone once told me. But I like getting points against the Ravens. Next one up, this is a game that I'm just not interested in watching. Just going to put that out there. Tennessee, Houston. Houston with Tom Savage. There's just, it's throw it to DeAndre Hopkins and pray. And Tennessee, in my mind, should have lost that game to Indianapolis last week. The amount of times they're sticking with DeMarco Murray over Derrick Henry, it's insane. Maybe if they adjust, the crazy thing is Tennessee is 7-4. And as we're racing for these wild card spots right now, they have a nice lead over teams like the Chargers and the Ravens and the Bengals that are trying to come up, or the Bills.
Yes.
They have that lead. Can they keep it? I am actually going to go, I'm going Tennessee. I'm going $10. And that's really it. I think Mariota could do a little bit more than Tom Savage, but I'm not sold on Mariota anymore. He threw some bad picks against Indianapolis. He really did not look good in that game. I'm done. I don't like this game. It's annoying to me.
Yeah, but it is scary from that aspect. I mean, yes, it's our big question about the Tennessee Titans is when that run game can't dominate, can their pass game carry them? And my answer to that would be no. 6 interceptions the last 2 games for Mariota. But I'll say this. Okay, I'm going $10 on the Texans, but I always pick the games before I look at the spread. I picked Tennessee to win 24-17, which would be a push.
Gotcha.
So I just got in there and I just said, you know what? If I'm going to bet on anything, I'm going to bet that the Texans keep it closer than 7 than more than 7. The one thing you can count on by the Texans, regardless, is they're going to play physical. Their defense is still good and has difference makers. The offense has a plan of attack. Yes, they just don't have a good quarterback, plain and simple. You're right about that. And I look at Tennessee, again, the same thing that I look at more times than not. I think Tennessee's secondary is a little better than it gets credit for. I think their pass rushers are a little overrated. There's no true weakness to the team, but there's no true great strength either.
I feel the same way about both teams.
Yeah, I do too. Tennessee's clearly the better team, and I think they will win the game because what happens this time of the year too, it's December, and one team has really something they're playing for, and they go, hey, we could still accomplish our lifelong dream of going to the Super Bowl. And if you get out an early lead and you're that team against a team like the Texans who's got nothing to play for, it can funnel
I'm looking at
downhill.
Tennessee. If they win this game, they go to 8-4, and I would say in the AFC, that's almost locking up a playoff spot.
Pretty close.
With how average, and I think
they're going to win the
beat each
South,
other
or
up.
they're going to be the 5th.
I also want to say this.
Yes.
Are we going to see Clowney versus Lewan? Because that's worth the price of admission.
Well, you definitely will at some point.
Because I will say this, for everyone that said that Jadeveon Clowney was a bust, I don't know if you were watching Monday night. I don't know if you've been watching this entire season. I don't know if you were watching that playoff game against the Patriots last year where he single-handedly almost beat the Patriots by themselves. I know that you guys think that J.J. Watt and even Whitney Merciless is the most important member of that team. Jadeveon Clowney has been a possible contender for defensive MVP for 2 years now. And I'm glad that Gruden started showing it. He was the most impressive player on the field.
He was the best defensive player in football last year. He was, but he didn't have the sack, so you can't win, defensive player of the year because of that. He is in the category of Fletcher Cox, Aaron Donald for league leaders in we will fuck your play up on a regular basis. And there's no stat for that.
Speaking of fuck you up, Kanish Kumar, just want to take a moment and laugh at those who laughed at Sims for his picking skills. I didn't do this, Kanish did.
Yeah.
5 for 5, baby, last week's for guaranteed to lose. Chris Sims, 5 fire emojis.
Thank you.
And then he came back and he said that he actually made some cash on that. Thanks for the money, made bank. I don't see those haters talking now.
Appreciate
5
you.
for 5, guaranteed to lose.
I didn't even know that. That makes me feel good, though.
The stats don't matter. We're not stats guys. All right, Tampa Bay goes to Lambeau Field, and Jameis Winston has returned from crab leg feasts and other things. The worst defense in the NFL by yardage is the Tampa Bay Bucks. They're 32nd. Brett Hundley goes out there on Sunday night and played really well. Hit Randall Cobb on that open pass. Had that last-second drive where they kind of went down the field, last-minute drive.
He's got skills, man. I was there in person. I saw. I mean, he can move. The ball
put up
flies out of his hands.
28 points against the Steelers.
Right.
Granted, there was an interception return for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, 2 starting offensive linemen put on IR this week. Dotson and Ali Marpet.
Right.
I could not believe that the Bucs were favored. I went $300 on the Green Bay Packers.
What?
I am going $300 on the Green Bay Packers.
What?
It is going to be cold.
It is going to be cold. It's the first thing I thought of. Because Tampa, it's a real thing.
I think Tampa already is one of the softest teams in the NFL. The only reason their games have looked respectable lately is because they played the Falcons, who are like the worst second-half team ever, and Ryan Fitzpatrick's like, well, you know what? Fuck it. Evans, go deep. And they just try shit. I have more faith in Fitzpatrick than Winston. I believe that Evans will have a lot of success against the Packers. His secondary is not good. They could be taking advantage of. I think the offensive line stinks for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think the Packers, they know their formula now. I think they're going to be able to get, I just think the fact that they're underdogs at home, that's what I live for.
Right. Hey, I mean, I can't believe you're betting that much money. I will say that. I am going $10 on the Packers, okay? I'm picking the Packers to win the game 23-22. Listen, the Packers, the one thing I'll say, this is what I've come to the determination. I like Mike McCarthy, the head coach. I just don't like Mike McCarthy, the play caller, play designer. If Mike McCarthy could just get somebody creative to run the offense.
And they have a better coach.
I would just be like, that would be great. Because he's a head coach.
He's a head coach.
They always have a detailed game plan. They're always tough. They don't mess up games. So I look at it from that standpoint, and I really respect Mike McCarthy. The thing I look at is, yes, I'm still scared of Green Bay and what they do. Let's put last week, not taking anything away from Brett Hundley, okay? But let's keep things into perspective, all right? The Steelers blew a coverage on the first touchdown.
Sure.
They messed up. It was the Seattle beater, the old play, right? Where it was the wheel, and Artie Burns was stupid and went with the post, and he wasn't supposed to go there. They had a screen and cover 2-man where Shazier missed a tackle. It was the perfect play call against the perfect defense. Again, I know that sounds like I'm taking something away from him. And then it was the double move on Cody Sensabaugh. It was the other touchdown. So I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, Green Bay's offensive woes are fixed. They still scare me. I think they're the better team. Jameis does scare me being back. The Bucs have nothing to play for anymore.
Nothing.
So
and
that
I'll also
does
say
scare
this.
me.
Do you know what Tampa Bay's record on the road is this year?
Right.
1-5. And their one win was that Dolphins game that was like
the Dolphins blew, really.
Completely blew.
Let me just say this, too. The cold weather thing, like you mentioned, this is a real thing. This is when I knew it was a real thing, Lefkoe. My rookie year, we were going to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, that's where we're going. And it was like 45 degrees. And I walked in the locker room, and I'm from New Jersey, so in this time of the year, we played in games in snow and ice, and I played in the Big 12, which, it was Texas, but we went up and played in Nebraska in November, so I was used to it and things like that. But I walked in the locker room, I remember before the game, and it was 45 degrees out, and most of the guys on our team already had jackets on and hats on. In the locker room, we haven't been outside yet. And I said, whoa, this thing is real. Like, guys, we had a lot of Florida players on our team. Like Florida State, Miami, those kind of guys. And it's a real thing. That's my only point of the story.
Well, my point of the story is Tampa Bay is so not physical. This is a game to me, my prediction that I hope we can play on Monday, Green Bay is going to score a lot of their points off broken tackles. I just see them getting rid of arm tackles and making quick down plays. And I just think Dirk Cutter and Mike Smith is such a bad coaching combination.
Right.
And I think at this time of the year, this is when the Green Bay coaching staff makes their money because they're very good at situational football. So it's a lot of money. Too much?
I'm rooting for the Bucks now. I know that.
Guess what? You're always rooting for the Bucks.
Yo ho, the Pirates life for me.
Let us go now to, this is a true coin flip that I wanted to stay away from completely. Denver, Miami. It is the Denver Broncos are they back to Trevor Siemian?
They are.
On the road in Miami, who is back to Jay Cutler.
Yep.
Defense for Denver is still third. Aqib Talib will not be playing after a suspension from chain ripping of Michael Crabtree and throwing some punches. Did you like the fact that he kept his helmet on? It was smart.
Of course, very smart. Yes.
Playing the Dolphins. The Dolphins, to me, are one of the worst teams in football. They're right there with Tampa Bay in terms of their inability to stop anybody and their lack of really any success on offense. I'm going $10 on Denver. I just think they have the one elite unit. Calm down. I'll get you some oats. I think they have the one elite unit, and I think they need to come out pissed and win one of these games.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I'm just playing it's got to happen sometime.
Yeah,
game.
we've been saying that for 7 weeks. So.
I know.
Okay, I'm going $10 on the Dolphins. I'm picking Miami to win the game 20-17. It is a coin flip game.
A coin clip.
A coin clip. I got to see it to believe it. It's just plain and simple. I mean, there's nobody that screws up more than the Denver Broncos a game, a week-to-week basis, whether it's special teams.
Simeon did look good.
He did, sure. Interceptions in the end zone by Paxton Lynch last week. It's always something.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah, sure.
You and your father came out early in the year and you're like, we've seen this in a long time in Simeon. Are you disappointed? Is it upsetting? It's not one of those things where I'm like, hey, your prediction was wrong, but you saw potential in him.
Yes.
And it's gone the other way. What is your reaction to that?
My reaction is that, I thought the potential was there. It's obviously not. I think what scared me more than anything.
What did you get distracted by?
Well, nothing. I saw some talent there, and I saw an offense that had flaws, so I wasn't willing to blame it all on him.
Gotcha.
I think that's what I really looked at. And then, yes, his carelessness with the football, and then really, as that started to happen, it just manifested into an every week thing to where we saw 2 or 3 horrible decisions that were costing the team. And I didn't see those last year and thought that he could build on that. So, yes, I was certainly wrong. I thought he was a little bit better than what he is.
For me, the Chiefs game destroyed him mentally.
Right.
That running across the field, throwback interception.
Gosh. That whole game was a disaster.
The whole game was a disaster,
right.
But that throw was him going, this is my last gasp. And since then, he looked good in the second half, but it was Oakland. A lot of people look good against Oakland.
Yes.
2 positive comments here. Ben Forster, BR needs to get you 2 guys in the booth for any game, and I'd watch just for your commentary, #TheBest. And Zach Lindbergh, you guys are great. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, guys.
We appreciate you. Ty Smith says, Sims is legit. Stop hating. Man, so much positivity. Going to throw it right back to you.
Man.
I'm almost on the caffeine.
So I guess what I guess I don't know is everybody's hating on me in these comment section.
Well, you got like somebody like Joe Johnson who's talking about Phil Simms. Look.
What about him?
No, he's just saying that you're here because of Phil.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, no, that's why you're also on NBC?
Yeah.
Is that why you're doing Pro Football Talk?
That's why I was the #1 quarterback in the country, too.
That's okay.
That's right.
You know what? You know why I'm here? Because my dad, Bruce Lefkoe, him and my mom, Sharon
I was
Lefkoe,
drafted in the 3rd round, too, because they were like, damn, your dad's Phil Simms. We're going to draft you in the 3rd round. Every guy that's ever played in the football, their son's playing in the NFL.
It's weird. When we go out to eat, people go, are you Phil Simms' kid? He goes, yeah. And they go, food's on the house. It's incredible. Motherfuckers. All right, next one up. I love all y'all. Even you, Joe. New England, Buffalo. This is a rivalry as old as time, and it's one-sided from the very beginning. I believe that if Tom Brady throws 2 touchdowns or more, he passes Fitzpatrick for the quarterback that has thrown the most touchdowns at Buffalo Stadium in the last 20 years. I'm not kidding. I think I saw that on Reddit, and it just popped into my head.
That is awesome.
Patriots have the #1 offense in the NFL. Their defense is 30th, but name a team that scored more than 20 points against them. Yeah. That's how bad it was in the beginning of the year. The Chiefs and the Saints, they all put up yards.
Yep.
Buffalo goes into Arrowhead, and they get the win over Kansas City.
Yep.
New England last week was favored by 16.5 over Miami.
Right.
And now they're only favored by 8.5. Kansas City was favored by 9.5 over Buffalo. Granted, that was in Kansas City, but the Patriots are only favored by 8.5.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard me the last time, so I'm going to say it with a little more This is when you bet on the Patriots and you make all of your money. Put up the number. I'm going $300 on the Patriots. Why? Because they're the frickin' Patriots. What about the Bills makes you think that this game is going to be within 8.5 points? That defense is a zone. The Patriots eat zones, shit them out, and then go, oh, it was a little too salty.
Yeah.
Not my flavor.
Right.
Patriots 8.5. I wanted to do the Sims bet.
Yeah.
I hope you did the Sims bet.
Buy. Yes. What are you thinking? Why didn't you go 900?
I should have, because
What?
Because
8.5 on the
I play
Bills?
this game a certain way, and you play. I couldn't believe it was 8.5.
What? Tom Brady versus Tyrod Taylor. What? Patriots are going to be riding their horses, and they're going to take off their rifles and go, that's a Buffalo. Sorry, Buffalo, you're going to lose. I don't even. That was shocking. You really put it. Yeah. Hey, I'm from Boston. I fucking kill buffaloes for a living, okay? They're all over Boston, Massachusetts. I kill them. Tatanka. Dead.
Buffalo.
Dead.
But what were my points, though?
I mean, I think that.
What was the points that you liked, though?
I mean,
you said I put it perfectly.
The fact that Kansas City was
favored by 9.5, and New England favored by 8.5?
When I saw that, I was like, what?
Look, I understand.
Your points, the zone defense. I mean, they're gonna shred the defense.
It's gonna be awful.
The Patriots defense. If you
all they do is contain. And what is Tyrod's biggest fear in life? Being contained.
I don't know how thoroughly you read my notes from yesterday's podcast about the Patriots, though. The Patriots D is real. It's no longer even like bend, don't break. It's like we will fuck you up defense. That's what it'll do now. It's official. They're good, plain and simple. Gilmore's figured out how to cover, and he's figured out all the calls. Him and Butler are shut down. And McCourty at safety. They've got it going on. They're big up front. You're not going to be able to run on them either. So their defense is going to stop a Tyrod Taylor, okay? The only thing I could see that could even upset this by any stretch of the imagination is trick plays, something like that.
Yes.
But other than
Tyrod Taylor scramble.
I just don't see it. I mean, this zone defense, who's going to pass rush against them?
The Patriots were going to beat the Dolphins last week by 24, but they fumbled the ball in their own end zone.
Yes, right.
Like,
I know. Well, and they didn't even play like one of their best games last week.
They didn't even try.
Right, and they still win by 17
Deion
or 18.
Lewis is getting 15 yards a carry by accident.
So I picked the game, New England to win 34-20. I just have a hard time seeing this game being much closer than that in the end of the day.
Darley Soare saying, I don't know what they're having, but I want some. This is lit. Yo, I am lit. I'm on a few different things right now. And then we have Mike, I got the longest name in history, Suggs. Oh, no, he was saying Sims got about 900 on the Eagles. Definitely not, he's not. But Frank DeLeon saying the Patriots have covered like 22 or 23 of their last 30 games. Dude, they are the most consistent team.
No, they got it down.
It's so rare to find teams in this league that are consistent, and they are the shining example.
I mean, this is like the easiest breakdown of the year for Bill Belichick and Matt Patricia. When they look at the Buffalo Bills offense, they go, they run these 6 plays?
Except when they play the Packers.
Over and over? Okay, fine.
So that we have that's one of our locks.
Yes.
I was saying to them before the show that when I make a Lefkoe lock, one that we very much agree on,
right.
I feel like the percentage of those are like 80%.
Is it pretty good?
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Because, I mean, we're geniuses. Next one, Minnesota at Atlanta. Huge NFC implications. Minnesota right now is in the driver's seat for that second bye week at 9-2 after the Rams and Saints
second seed.
Yeah, carnaged each other.
Bye week, yeah.
And the Falcons are sitting there. If they win this game, the Vikings come closer to the pack, and the Falcons 8-4.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're in bye territory.
NFC becomes mixed.
And the South, they need to keep out with the South. Vikings, 5th on defense, 5th on offense. Falcons, 10th on defense, 6th on offense. This is another one where in my head, I could see the Vikings favored by 2 in Atlanta.
Right.
Atlanta is favored by 3. I'm going $340 on the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota travels very well. They are a very good road team. And, oh my gosh, the Vikings are coming. It's Case Keenum, and who else is that? I'm feeling. The Falcons, though, I don't know if people were watching these last few weeks.
Yeah.
They have not looked impressive in any of their wins. Yes, I know all of you saw Julio Jones put up 250 yards again. I know that you saw the Mohamed Sanu pass to Julio Jones. I know you saw that offense go up huge. Did you watch the Bucs come back? Did you watch the Falcons offense completely shut down? You know who's had a great career trajectory and performance against Julio Jones? Xavier Rhodes. This is literally the worst defense in my mind for the Falcons to play because you're not going to beat them deep. You're not going to beat them underneath. I know that Devontae Freeman's back, but have you seen the linebackers for the Vikings? They're not going to have anywhere to run. Case Keenum against this defense will be able to put up some points. I think this is a Vikings flat-out win.
Yeah.
They're one of the best teams. I think the Falcons are wildly overrated.
I do think that I agree with you on a lot of your points. I'm going the Vikings. I'm only going $10. It is in Atlanta. It still scares me. Minnesota, I mean, this run they're on is phenomenal, so I think that is what scares me as well. I mean, it might come to an end at some point. But regardless, it's just the fact that it's in Atlanta, I think, scared me more than anything. The team speed for the Atlanta Falcons can be overwhelming to teams at first when they get on the field. If you can kind of hang in there from the initial surge, though, the one thing I've continually wrote in my notes with them is they're not a huge team. They're not a big team. So the speed slows down as the game goes along, and teams, that's why I think we've seen them blow fourth quarter leads, as even last week when they were up 27-6 and the game became 27-20 late in the fourth quarter. Because I feel like the Bucs kind of adjusted, like, okay, we know what they're playing. We kind of got a feel for what they're trying to do. Their speed is not overwhelming to us now in the fourth quarter. I just look at the Vikings as a very complete team. I think you made a lot of great points as far as their defense is really a phenomenal matchup with the Atlanta Falcons offense. Atlanta's offense last week, again, it played well, but it was the perfect matchup. I mean, It's a Buccaneers defense that does nothing on defense and is not very talented. This is a defense that has a few little creative wrinkles every week because of Zimmer, and they have a ton of talent. So from that aspect, and then again, yes, at some point, somebody's got to stop hating on them. You know who the NFC Player of the Month was? Oh, Case Keenum. Let's bench him. I mean,
no one's talking. I'm not talking about.
No, but
I think you're right though about Zimmer. I think it's a motivation thing.
I hope so, because Zimmer. I mean, again, the fact that he said that Keenum has what did he say? He has a four-leaf clover up his butt last week.
That he's lucky.
I mean, that's disrespectful, and I'm going to hold him. I'm going to watch film, and guys that underperform, I'm going to ask them to be benched. I don't care if it's Xavier Rhodes. If Julio goes for 300 yards this week, I'm going to ask for Xavier Rhodes to be benched because he's telling me everybody's being evaluated week to week.
So the Vikings are 4-1 on the road, and I actually think that record is like. It's even hiding how good they've been on the road. They just beat the Lions on the road. They were all over the Lions. The Lions got those points at the end to make it look respectable. They beat the Washington Redskins 38-30 in Washington. They were all over Washington, and Washington came back in that game.
Keenum threw some dumb interceptions.
Their other win on the road was Cleveland, and that was London, so I don't count that. The Chicago Bears game, they had Sam Bradford in. I mean, when Case Keenum was in the second half, he torched them, and then the loss was Pittsburgh Steelers, Case Keenum's first game when he came in during injury. And then when I look at Atlanta at home, Atlanta is 3-2 at home. They let Tampa Bay get back into that last game. Dallas had their own issues. They lost to Miami. They lost to Buffalo, and then the Green Bay game. But I look at Miami and Buffalo, and I look at Tampa Bay, and I go, second half, they wear down. And those teams are not as physical, as opposing, or as buttoned up as the Minnesota Vikings.
Agreed.
It's what we always say. When you can get that rare game where the better team is the underdog, I'm going to bet my money on it. But I understand what you're saying. San Francisco, Chicago, Jimmy Garoppolo's first start as a San Francisco 49er, and the Joe Montana comparisons are already coming in. Who is he facing? Mitchell Trubisky and the high-flying 29th ranked offense of the Chicago Bears. This is one thing that I usually like. Chicago, 1 o'clock at home. But I'm going to be honest, I'm going $10 on San Francisco for one reason. I think San Francisco's offense has more weapons. I think they have a more developed offensive coach, Shanahan versus Dow Logans. I think that Garoppolo is further along as a pro, not in this offense, but as a pro. He'll be able to hit the Goodwin deep, which I think will be open. He'll be able to hit some of those other weapons, Carlos Hyde. And I think San Francisco's defense has actually been pretty good this year. I know statistically they had the Cowboys game, which kind of messes it up, but
They play hard every week.
They play hard every
sure.
week, and like Seattle, Russell Wilson was under attack.
Game was 7-6. It was halfway through the third quarter.
So I just think you know what Chicago is on offense.
Right.
It's Jordan Howard. It's the occasional dump off to Tariq Cohen, and I like Jimmy G. I think there's a storyline that's going to come from that.
I think you're right. Let's make this quick. I'm going the 49ers as well. $10 only. I do think the 49ers are going to win the game outright. I'm going to pick them to win 27-24. I'm picking them that because of Kyle Shanahan too, and I think the extra motivation that they're going to want to make sure their future franchise quarterback gets off to a good start. And what happens there is coaches seem to find other creative ways to make offense happen in those scenarios because they know their ass is on the line to make it look good as well. So from that aspect, the thing that scares me a little is, of course, the Chicago Bears run offense.
Of course.
I just worry about the 49ers being bludgeoned up front and just Jordan Howard up the middle for 6 and 7 and controlling the clock. The other thing that also scares me is, yes, the 49ers offensive line not very good against still a good defensive front with the Bears, but Shanahan's always extremely creative in finding ways to kind of cancel out an aggressive defensive line. With just creative runs, screens, play action passes. So it almost makes that a moot point to a degree. That's why I just think the 49ers, I'm going to pick them to win the football game. It won't be easy, but 27-24, like I said.
Question.
Yeah.
What is your favorite kind of couch?
My favorite kind of couch.
You like a leather couch? You like a soft couch?
No, I like a soft couch
you like
that I can
one
lay
where, like,
out.
it pulls up?
I want to be able to lay my legs out.
Have you ever slept on like a couch bed? It's the worst.
Yeah, I don't do those.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a big couch fan, though.
I love the couch.
Man.
Yep.
Eli, where's he sitting?
On the couch.
Damn. All right, next one up. Let's move to the New York Jets hosting the Kansas.
Where did that come from?
Don't worry about it.
Right.
Hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are 6-5. They are free falling like Wile E. Coyote.
Right.
Woo, 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 woo. The cloud of smoke pops up. 27th defense. The offense is still 9th. Their offense is like the Patriots' defense. The statistics have not adjusted to the early season. That's why the Pro Bowl is ridiculous. And hopefully, former Pro Bowler or future Pro Bowler Robbie Anderson will make it. This is a game to me where I went, okay, Kansas City is favored by 3 in New York. It could be a bounce back game for Kansas City. But I also looked at it and went, the Jets outplayed the Panthers.
Yep.
The Jets have been a very consistent football team.
They have been,
the Jets' defense has been very good. And I look at those safeties and I look at the performance of those corners and I go, I don't think there's anyone on Kansas City that really scares them because the league has figured out a way to contain Tyreek Hill.
Right.
If you get rid of those 1 or 2 big plays, you can contain him. The offense, it's
Don't play
not
man
great.
to man. That's the big thing.
It's the New York Jets offense is not great, but there's one issue.
Yeah.
The Kansas City defense will let you do whatever you want. Those slants, those throws, and show me someone who stopped Robbie Anderson. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, he's been pretty damn good.
I'm going to go the Jets. I'm going to go $100. I think it's a home team getting 3 points. Do I worry that I'm betting that money on the Jets? A little bit, but I'll be honest. Every game I've watched the Jets this year, it's been really close. And you're getting 3 points at home. Show me that Kansas City can change it up.
I agree.
I need to see
I got to see it to believe it as well. You made a lot of good points. I'm going Jets for $10. I do think the Jets are going to win the football game. I picked them to win 23-20. I just don't trust the Jets to put significant money on them in general. They find ways to screw up games. As my old saying, they will find a way to screw up in a wet dream right when they're really close, and they'll go, oh, I'm awake. Oh, I was almost there. Darn it, go back to the dream. Where's that hot girl? Okay, that was weird. But I
literally didn't hear what you said.
Okay.
All I heard was hot girl.
Yeah.
Was it inappropriate?
Yeah, it was not really inappropriate, just talking about dreams. But either way, the Jets' defense, I mean, like you said, just don't play man-to-man on Tyreek Hill. That's really all it comes down to because, like, Alex Smith is not going to try to throw the ball into tight zone coverage windows. He's just not going to do it. He's a rush watcher right now. He's gotten back to all the bad things Alex Smith does. He drops back. He looks at the rush before he looks downfield.
The Jets' defense is scary.
The Jets' defense is big and physical up front.
Their linebackers, Leonard Williams.
You got the 2 safeties to stop all the Travis Kelce shuffle pass, speed sweep, Tyreek Hill, Marcus May, Jamal Adams, Deron Lee at linebacker, who's going to, of course, he's one of the fastest linebackers in the game. He's going to be able to contain those type of things. This is a creative defensive coach in Todd Bowles. And like you said, the offense has always done just enough every week to keep them in the football game. But McCown or special teams turnovers happen all the time. So that's why I couldn't go $100.
I understand.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be watching that game on the couch. I'm excited to see it.
Damn.
All right, let's go.
What is going
no,
on?
I'll be here. I'll be here.
No, but what's going on?
Well,
somebody's like bagging on me because I don't play in the NFL anymore or something?
Literally, that's not it at all.
Oh, okay.
We're just
the couch thing.
We're couch gang.
Right.
Hashtag couch gang.
Okay.
I think that's our new mantra.
Okay.
Live life.
Are you
going to
tell me the meaning of this or what? What's
Listen,
going
man,
on?
when it's in the comment section,
Yeah.
you just need to embrace it.
Okay.
Sometimes things don't need to have a reason.
I love the couch.
That's where you have your wet dreams. All right, let's go Indianapolis at Jacksonville. You love talking about. I haven't had that in.
It's my old high school coach. He used to say that. So it's like embedded in my brain. Mike Miello. That's what he used to say.
Jacksonville's offense is 12th. What's his name?
Mike Miello.
Well, Mike Miello, now's your time to shine. You're on Bleacher Report, Lefkoe podcast. Their defense is number 1. It's incredible. Indy's offense is 27th. Their defense is 29th. This is, wouldn't you know, the second largest spread of the weekend. And there's something to me when I look and I see Jacksonville favored by 9.
Right.
And I always ask myself, Adam, how confident are you that Jacksonville can score 9 points with their offense alone?
Right.
Every week they get a defensive touchdown. Every week their defense is great. I watched the Colts really almost beat the Titans, and I'll be honest, their offense looked awful in the beginning. They got like 3 yards in the first quarter, but then they do the Jack Doyles, they do the dump-offs, they get the surprise trap run from Frank Gore. Jacoby Brissett is pretty good. I would say he's above average at protecting the football. That last game, Jacksonville won 27-0. It was a classic Yannick Ngakoue strip fumble that kind of got that ball rolling. By the way, Yannick Ngakoue, 10 sacks in the season. Him and Calais Campbell, the only duo with both guys over 10 sacks. Not Bosa and Ingram, those two. And Ngakoue leads the NFL in forced fumbles with 6.
I can believe that.
Hell of a year. Should be a Pro Bowler, Yannick Ngakoue.
Definitely.
But I'm looking at this and I'm going, I am not going to sit there and cross my fingers and go, Blake Bortles, do this. Leonard Fournette is still hurt. That offense is still praying for turnovers deep in your own zone. I'm going $100 on Indianapolis. 9 points is too much. Jacksonville's the better team, but I like watching Indianapolis. I don't like the fact that their head coach went on a crazy rant about Groundhog's Day, and I'm like, Pagano's losing it.
I didn't see it yet.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Right.
But I'm going Indy 9 points. It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I'm going Indy as well.
Really?
Yeah, for $10 though. You're crazy for putting $100 on that.
I like to spread my money out.
But I'm going.
401k,
I think Jacksonville's
invest.
going to win the game 20-16. Yeah, I can't bet on Jacksonville. Jacksonville with that offense. All right, so here's my take. I mean, Jacksonville's defense. It's one of the greatest defenses I've ever seen. And they lost last week, and it took 7 miracles for the Cardinals to beat them. It really did. The defense is so good, it's scary. What I think my big thing is, of course, the scary thing is the Jacksonville offense. It's non-existent. It's disrespectful how the quarterback gets played. Plain and simple, you've heard my old sayings. This is the best team in football, the Jacksonville Jaguars, but it's the 70th best quarterback, and I'm not underestimating that. 70. The other thing that they need to do with Blake Bortles, this is what I've come to the determination of, Lefkoe. I don't know if you read this in my notes.
Run them.
They need to just run. They literally run the Wildcat.
Old Cam
Run
Newton.
the Wildcat. Like he's a Wildcat. Treat him like a running back, and then maybe occasionally.
Technically, he is a Jaguar. He is absolutely a Wildcat.
So just let him do an occasional fade. But the only thing that Blake Bortles does that's semi-good is running the football. It's what he did last week to make all his plays. So they need to just have some quarterback design runs to add that element. Who cares if he gets hurt? If he gets hurt, you got a better player coming in. His name's Chad Henne. So I don't understand it. David Caldwell's ego, drafting him number 3, is ruining their chance to win a Super Bowl. Plain and simple. I mean, that's all I can really say. But they're scary. They're still going to win the game. But yeah, I agree. It'll be closer.
Yeah, I think someone wrote it's the largest Blake Bortles spread ever.
I mean, last week they were favored by what? 8.5.
And we took
something like that.
No. They were favored by 4.
It was 4.
And I was going to take Arizona in that game because I was just like, I don't know, man. Yeah, it was 4.5 last week.
Yep.
No, but that's a thing. Like this Jaguars team is very good, but with that spread, if they're down 3, I'm going, oh my God, 12 points for the Jaguars. Get the fuck out of here. It's not happening.
I hear you.
This is the largest spread of the week. Cleveland Chargers 13.5. Cleveland is 0-11, and they are not covering any spreads. every week I go, oh, this is going to be close, and every week they lose by double digits. It's a fact. Their defense is 9th in the NFL. It's not bad, but there's always the Deshaun Kaiser turnover that kind of makes it reach that point. The Chargers are probably going to be one of the most bet on teams going down the stretch. They are officially America's dark horse team. Everyone is picking them now to win the AFC West, but guess what? Old Papa Lefkoe continues to just shove his face inside the Lions' mouth and is getting ready to be eaten. I'm going the Browns. I'm going $10. It's 13.5. I know that I should bet on the Chargers. I don't know why, but I'm going the Browns.
All right, stop. Just be quiet. You're betting. Oh, my gosh. What are you doing this week? I don't know. You're going to lose this week for sure.
Josh Gordon.
$300 Chargers. I mean, what the hell? Okay, that was it. All right, $300. The Chargers are a phenomenal matchup against the Cleveland Browns. I mean,
should I play Russell Wilson against the Eagles or Phillip Rivers against the Browns?
I would play Phillip Rivers against the Browns. Okay. Yes. I mean, Russell, he's still probably able to make magic, but okay, plain and simple.
I don't know why I keep betting on the fucking Browns.
I don't know why either.
I'm the one that called you out 3 weeks ago for betting on the Browns.
I bet on, yes, and now you've bet money on them. Like,
no, I bet $10.
Okay. This time you just bet $100 on it.
No, I bet $10.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 100.
No.
But I'm going $300 for the Chargers for simple reasons. Casey Hayward, his brother dying, scares me a little bit, certainly. But
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Condolence to him. Well, I know. I'm just getting into the football aspect of it. But listen, I know Josh Gordon's back, and I'm sure they'll have some things designed for him. That's great. But this Chargers defense is good. Like we've said in the last few weeks, they fixed their run defense issues. Their secondary is one of the best in football. Their defense is playing at an extremely high level. They fixed all the problems. Their offense, they pass protect as good as anybody in the game.
All right, I'm putting
the Browns, right now. The Browns blitz. They want to do those type of things. They're not great in the back end with coverage. I just have a hard time thinking they're going to be able to pressure Rivers. They're balanced enough to scare you with the run game with Melvin Gordon. It's at home. The Chargers have had extra days to prepare. They're going to be totally ready to go. The Browns are out, everybody. They're punch drunk. It's over. They're like the team that's like, how many weeks are left in the season still? Oh, well, we still have to practice and play. I just can't see it. I'm picking the Chargers to win 28-10.
To the people that were asking if we picked Falcons or Vikings, then someone said we both picked Falcons. We both picked Vikings, actually, in that game.
I bet $10. I think the Vikings are going to win the game 24-21.
No, so you're like, I don't know why I keep doing this with Cleveland.
I really have no idea. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like the same thing you just said about the Jacksonville Jaguars with Blake Bortles. It's the same thing with Deshaun Kaiser. It's not any better.
All right, that's going to be enough. I'm going to flip that. Carolina goes down to New Orleans. It's 8-3 and 8-3. Yeah. Saints offense is second in the NFL. Carolina is 2 as well. And New Orleans is hosting the Panthers. New Orleans is favored by the always scary 4 points. Whenever a team is favored by 4, it's Vegas going, you know they could win by a lot, but they could also lose.
Yeah, right.
Carolina is a really scary defense, except when they play the New Orleans Saints. It is a great defense for that Saints offense. Michael Thomas in the slot. Cam Newton looked like shit against the New York Jets. They won because Josh McCown literally threw them a ball, and then shrunken Kelvin Benjamin returned a punt return for a touchdown. Canvasser, I don't remember his actual name. He's just Keelan Clay. This is Canvasser's nickname. He looks like Kelvin Benjamin, but like Rick Moranis got a hold of him and said, I want him about 5'11".
Oh, good. You seen that movie, huh?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Yes.
Classic. When you're inside the Honey Nut Cheerios.
I was on a plane with Rick Moranis just a few. You
were on a plane with Rick Moranis?
He walked.
Was he in first class?
Nope.
What a fucking
neither was
scrub.
I wasn't into that week.
You know life has hit you hard when Rick Moranis isn't in first class. Because you know damn well that 20 years ago, Rick Moranis walked in a plane. They were like, oh no, they're going to shrink the plane.
He was totally incognito, had a hat on. He really looked like he was still dressing for the part of father of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yo, when he was riding the bee. Oh, man.
Pretty good.
Dope. That was the first selfie that went wrong. They were standing in front of that thing. They were like, oh, shrunk. I am going New Orleans $100. I didn't feel that confident because I do respect Carolina. And if Carolina can stop the Kamara Ingram running attack, it'll be a very close game. I just think the Saints are a better team, and I like the matchup for the passing offense against Carolina.
Yeah, I'm going the Saints for $10. I picked the game to. That'll make any Panther go to sleep. Ooh. Oh, Panther, go to sleep.
Go to sleep, Panther.
The 21-17 Saints. That's what I'm picking.
So it's a push.
It is a push, but I'm going with the Saints just to make that.
Jack Farr, is Lattimore and Crawley back? I believe so. I believe they're both going to be back.
Hey, I'm in the middle of doing a show right now.
You're in the office?
I'm in the office.
that
I'm
Brandon
in the
Marshall?
studio doing a show right now.
Tell him to walk in.
Come and walk in.
Well, we're live.
Come walk
Tell him
in.
to come
We're
in.
live on TV right now. All right.
Yeah, no, Brandon Marshall's going to. If he is here, we can have him stand over you or me.
All right. Well, he could just come say hi. But regardless, the
Get a mic ready.
The
Gabe.
Carolina Panthers, I think you made the points. They play zone defense. That scares me. It's in New Orleans. I do think New Orleans has the O-line to stop the overpowering aspect of the Carolina Panthers' defensive front. So from that standpoint,
And
I look
they're
at that.
pissed.
Yes.
And the Panthers are like, we won in the New York and play like shit.
Right, you're right. The Carolina Panthers offense was off kilter. I don't expect Cam Newton to be off for long. It was a bye week. He certainly missed some throws, but man, before the bye, he was awesome. So let's not forget that. But I do think this will be a close football game, certainly. But I just like the Saints being at home. Sounds like Lattimore and Crowley are going to be back on the defensive front, so they'll be able to play man-to-man, stop some of the creative run scheme of the Carolina Panthers. That's why I go with it.
All right, let's keep going. Next up is going to be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. Arizona getting the big win over Jacksonville. Adrian Peterson hasn't had a big game since the San Francisco game.
Yeah.
Or he had two big games, I guess. Rams offense is fourth in the NFL. Sean McVay, by the way, came out and said, no, we're just doing regular stuff. I'm not in his ear. I'm not being a crazy helicopter offensive coordinator. Going to be honest, I don't believe him. I think he's in there audibling in Jared Goff's ear. They have a super-powered offense.
I mean, if you read the answer, he's telling you he was. He's just saying I don't do it every play. That's really what he was saying.
And you think that's wrong?
I do. I don't like that aspect. And the competition committee, you're taking away the greatness of people like Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or Peyton Manning.
Or Carson Wentz.
You're equaling the playing field. That's not what makes Tom Brady amazing. Is he can, under the pressure with people around him, he finds ways to get the offense in the right play and do all those things. His field generalship, his calm under pressure, that's being taken away with, hey, Jared, check to this play. This is a scary defense. I don't like that.
I look at the Rams defense, and I think Arizona is a really bad matchup. It's a bad matchup for Arizona.
Right.
And what I say by that is Arizona has no run offense. It is forced. It doesn't work. And when you're one-dimensional against Wade Phillips and Aaron Donald can just come at you, Aaron Donald against this offensive line, he might have 4.5 sacks.
He could.
And I look at the Rams offense, I think that Arizona allows big plays.
Right.
They just faced a team last week that isn't capable of getting it. I'm going $100 on the Rams. I know it's 7 points, but I think Arizona is a team that you can have big margins against because their offense and their defense are kind of boomer
They're
bust.
inconsistent.
They're
You're
very
right.
inconsistent.
Yeah.
So I'm going 100 on the Rams.
I hear you there. I'm not mad at you for that. I'm going $10 on the Rams.
Okay.
I picked them to win the game 30-20. Oh, you want to ride, little nice Cardinal? Come on. I just think the Rams, though, yes, the Rams are real. I think that's what
the Rams beat their ass 33-0 in London.
I feel good about what the Rams have done really the last 2 weeks. They lost 24-7 against the Vikings. It was an encouraging loss, if there's such a thing.
Cooper Kupp fumble.
It was a much closer game than it looked on the scoreboard. And then last week, the physicality which they played the game, and they also showed me something, a little run game defense discipline that I did not know if they were capable of.
I love that. That could be really cool if Minnesota taught them a lesson.
Right? So that it is cool. And then I guess I do get scared a little bit about
divisional matchups.
Arizona, exactly.
But my thought process when I saw that was I don't like to evaluate divisional matchups when there's a new coach involved.
Yes.
Jeff Fisher, Bruce Arians was very predictable.
Right.
Sean McVay, Bruce Arians, I have a feeling is leaning very heavily Sean McVay. It's a different feel to me than Rams Cardinals in the past.
Yeah, well, the Rams
year,
are clearly the better team,
always.
and they're definitely a better coach football team than they were in years past. So there's no denying that. The Rams offense is dangerous. Yeah, the Cardinals defense, it's scary. It's all over the place. Hey, Chandler Jones is amazing. I like they put Honey Badger back at free safety a lot more. That's where he belongs. He needs to be a safety. He's not a nickel corner. He's not that type of guy. So I went $10, like I said. But I guess what I got scared of is just the Cardinals offense can still be explosive in the pass game. And I guess it's on the road, and it's still the Rams, and I still look at them as a young team, and I guess that's what scares me.
I'm realizing, unfortunately, that you've bet all of your money.
I did.
And I'm realizing that I still have money to go. Are you excited? Because it's time for the Geno Smith led New York Football Giant. It's a new era of Giants football. Ben McAdoo at the helm. Geno Smith taking snaps under center. This is the combination that Big Blue has been missing. Eli, hit the couch, pal. No one needs you anymore because Geno Smith is ready to lead the Giants. Season tickets, order now.
You like this couch thing.
Yeah, I love the couch. Love the couch. The Raiders are favored by 8.5 over the Giants. Number one, I think Geno Smith is equal to, if not a little bit better right now, than Eli Manning. Because he can run, and he's not going to go down when he gets breathed on by Khalil Mack. Number two, the Raiders don't have Amari Cooper or Crabtree.
Is Cooper definitely out?
I'm going to say...
I mean, it's dicey.
The Lefkoe,
it's more than the concussion, too.
It's
He had something else,
questionable.
too.
I'm going to go Cooper sits.
Yeah.
That's my prediction. We're doing it on a Thursday.
Right.
They don't have a wide receiver. They're relying on Cordarrelle Patterson, Seth Roberts, and Marshawn Lynch to get this going against the Giants. I know that Janoris Jenkins is out. I know that Eli Apple will probably miss some time. There are still big ballers on Big Blue's defense. 8.5 for that offense is too much, and I think the Giants are going to cover.
What'd you bet on it?
I'm going $100 on the Giants getting 8.5 points. I think that Geno Smith keeps it close, and then the Giants fans are going, well, I don't know. I think they lose by like 3.
Yeah, that's what I have them losing.
Really?
20. I got the Raiders winning 23-20. I'm taking the Giants for $10. I don't trust this to put $100 on this. You're crazy for that too. What were you smoking last night? I don't know. Were you in the tent with Tatanka smoking peyote? Holy cow!
I like to get a little loose.
But I think it just scares me. It scares me. I got to stop saying that. Yes, the Giants match up with the Raiders in a lot of aspects. The Giants defense still has talent. I also heard you say that to
some people out there yesterday, and I was like, I'm taking
Yes, and I didn't know Janoris Jenkins was definitely going to be out for the year at that point, but regardless of that, yes, I look at it that way. The Raiders defense, it's not very good. I do think the Giants will be able to move the ball on them a little bit, and I think the Giants are a team that's still fighting to a degree. They're not like giving up.
I was going to ask you, what do you think do you think they're going to come out and go, we got to win this one, or do you think they're deflated by what's happened this last week?
No, I think a lot of times this kind of thing, and listen, nobody there is going to be happy that Eli Manning got benched, but a new quarterback at the helm that can maybe do some things that physically Eli can't do will excite the offense a little bit. So there will be, and it's just a new energy in general, and sometimes that's needed. So from that aspect, I do think you could see a little bit more of a motivated Giants football team.
So part of the reason why I don't think Amari Cooper is going to play is I was checking the practice reports yesterday.
Yeah.
He did not practice.
Right.
I just believe there's been a direct correlation this year when he hasn't practiced in the week, and then he also hasn't
Well, it's something
played.
more than the concussion, too. It was another injury. Ankle. It's an ankle.
Brutal
sorry.
hit. He has an injured ankle and a concussion.
Right.
All right, so I'm looking at that team, and it's the same reason.
We're done with it. Go to the next game.
All right, I'm just saying for the Jaguars and the Raiders to be favored by 9 and 8.5 at this point in the season seemed crazy to me.
It is crazy.
All right, Philadelphia taking on Seattle, and the rankings here are just Eagles 3rd offense, 6th defense. Seahawks 8th offense, 8th defense. Seattle, gonna be honest, they were scratching and clawing to get away from San Francisco in that game, and Russell Wilson has to make magic all the time. The Eagles are the most consistent team in the NFL, but they are favored by 5.5 on the road. What would I bet? Can't tell you, because I have a duty. And and that duty is to the Philadelphia Eagles. I am betting $10 on the Seattle Seahawks. Why? Because I always bet $10 against the Eagles' opposition, and every single time, it pretty much leads to an Eagles victory.
It's all about you.
And my role as the mush is to keep it going.
Hey, a wise guy told me about a book called Ego is the Enemy. It's not all about you, Lefkoe. I mean, gosh, damn, the whole world revolves around you. He thinks Carson Wentz is going to play good or bad because he bet 10 or didn't bet 10 on him. What the hell is wrong with you? Okay? Oh, baby!
Make your bet. Make your bet.
Yes, okay, $10 on the Seahawks. The Seahawks fight and claw and play hard every week. I mean, so that I can't say that I'm going to sit here at home against the Philadelphia Eagles, who are clearly the better football team, that they're just going to win this game by more than 5.5 points. I do think this is a defense with that pass rush that can contain a Russell Wilson magic to a degree.
If the Eagles go into Seattle and blow them out,
right?
What does that say to the Eagles for you? Because you already have them number 2.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're clearly one of the 2 best teams in football. It's them and the Patriots. I think what it just answer to me is just like, hey, there's no environment. There's nothing that scares this football team. Look at this guy.
Is this video or?
No, we are live on Facebook.
We are live on Facebook.
Yeah. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
What are we
doing
talking?
Dude, we are talking about all the games of the week. You're not. We are actually doing betting. So we get $100 for every game, and we split our money up. Sims's big bets this week. He's going Washington over Dallas. He's going New England. That's his really big bet to cover 8.5 against Buffalo, which that line doesn't make any sense to us.
Yeah.
And he's going Chargers favored by 13.5 over Cleveland. Those are his 3 big bets.
Can I share something with you guys?
Yeah.
I know nothing about betting.
It's really
No,
hard.
me neither.
You talk about you talk about spread and this and
it's
that.
hard enough to pick the games normal.
So
without
he
a
went
spread.
13-3 last week picking winners.
Yeah.
But in the picks, he went 9-6-1. It is so hard to gamble. Why people do it, we do not understand.
Wait. So let's just ask him. He played against your Eagles. He was healthy at that point. Just what jumped out to you about the Eagles when you played them?
You know what? Nothing.
Nothing.
Right. But what happens is losing is contagious and winning is contagious.
You're right.
And I mean, these guys won what, 10 in a row?
Yeah.
Is it 10 in a row?
Yeah.
I think it's
so.
9 in a row.
I mean, their swagger.
Right.
You see 9 in a row. You see them on the sideline, the group pictures, the celebrations, how they're doing
Were
it
you
together.
both on that Broncos 6-0 team?
That's the thing that stands out.
Okay, so here's the perfect question. You were both on a team that started off 6-0 and the bye week hit and all the momentum flushed out.
Oh my gosh.
So this team is going to play at Seattle, then they're going to go to the Rams. Could it be, like, as an Eagles fan, I'm a little bit worried, could there be something that pulls the chair out and that swag and momentum falls off?
No, I think that, this may be one of those stretches where they could drop 1, maybe even 2, but it won't be because of the focus isn't there, or it's just going to be one of
they're too late in the year now. They know the Super Bowl's dangling there, so they're going to keep playing.
And then you got a guy like Wentz. What is his name?
Wentz.
Yeah, Wentz.
What is his name?
Yeah, whatever his name is.
MVP?
Forget the Eagles. But you got a guy like that. Like, man, this guy's a stud. He's locked in. He's not going to let his team go the other way.
So Alshon said part of the reason he came to Philadelphia was because he saw Wentz. LeGarrette, part of the reason he came to Philadelphia was Wentz. I'm seeing all these quotes after every game of guys going, he's the future. Do you see that in a kid? Can you see special talent in like guys that you face?
Oh, he is the future.
He is.
I mean, he's the face of the NFL right now, and he will be for the next 10 years. I mean, this guy is special. Forget about their record. Forget about how they're winning games. Think about what this guy does every single play.
The plays he makes physically they're amazing. It's not about the scheme. It's like, oh, we're going to throw a screen. He's not there. I'm going to spin out and run for 20 yards down the back sideline, whatever it may be.
This guy's like Brett Favre and Cam Newton put together.
There you go. That's what I've said. He's like a more athletic Big Ben. Like, that's what I've said. But you're right. That's a good combination.
He's such a Wentz boner right now.
I mean, what was that one play? I forget the game, but he's in a pocket. He
running up and he threw the touchdown.
No, he did a spin move.
That was last game. Chicago. He had 4 guys coming on his blind side, and he did a Russell Wilson backwards spin, and then he ran for 15 yards.
He didn't even mean to do that. He closed his eyes and fell into that. I'm feeling good.
You feel healthy?
Yeah. Well, I'm
getting
not
there?
healthy.
I know you're not.
I'm probably about 50%.
Man. Well, you guys are so mentally strong when
If the Super Bowl was tomorrow, I'll probably play in it.
Full of TO. Or like
Full of
7
TO,
for like
yeah.
136.
TO.
Welcome to Bleacher Report. What do you think
This
of
is
our office?
nice, man. The new digs are amazing.
Yeah,
It's
it's pretty good.
cool.
You haven't seen
You guys
it,
are
yeah.
a big deal.
Well, so they tell us.
He's getting huge. You seen him on TV all the time?
Yeah, turning down deals. You got all these radio shows coming after you, just turning them down. Look at you.
I don't know. Yep, I know. I fooled a lot of people in this.
So you guys have been friends for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this goes back to the Denver days. Is that when it started?
Denver days, yep.
Did you know right
Yeah.
away that he was different? Like he's just one of those screw loose kind of guys?
Yeah, well, I mean, his work ethic. We talk about something serious. His work ethic stood out to me.
Yeah.
He's like one of the first guys in. He probably the second guy. I was always the first guy in. He was after me, but he would always be on his Bosey ball. And he would throw probably like 200-300 passes on his Bosey ball. He'd be like, Brandon, go over here, act like you're running an out. And I'm like,
Wait, you
bro,
mean like the balls you stand on for balance?
do it 'cause
Correct.
of my
And he was doing that
core
LeBron shit
issues.
before
yeah.
LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he had this big surgery, and that's
Yeah.
probably one of the reasons why his career was cut short. That's the biggest reason why his career was cut short. But, every morning this dude would be on his Bosey ball throwing all types of passes, and he'll have me in different spots, like, catch this, catch that. I'm like, man, this dude is
Yeah, we
freaking psycho.
did. We had a
Yeah, he
good year
lost it.
together. We definitely did. We did. We
Yeah.
a lot of like even before the year started, going over to the field. I'd throw him balls in the summer and the
Yeah.
spring before we started training camp. And then
Tell me your biggest job.
well, my biggest job was trying to just, I don't know how this happened, but I think Josh McDaniels saw that me and him had a relationship. So then it became, hey, can you help manage Brandon Marshall's?
You became his babysitter.
Well, not his babysitter, but Brandon at that point of his life, and I think he would agree, he could get frustrated in a hurry, right?
Sure.
In a
So if he didn't get the ball the first series or two, he would have a vein sticking out.
So
and
what was something you could say to bring him
I would
down?
kind of, it's a long game, relax.
not what you said.
What did I say? What do I
can
say?
say you can curse.
Can
Yeah,
Yes,
you can
yes.
curse. Fucking calm down.
No, he say, dickhead, it's the first quarter. Okay, remember last week when I told you it was going to come and you ended with 150
Yeah.
and 10 catches?
Yeah.
Same situation, okay, relax. And I'll take a deep breath, then I'll go
And
catch
then
10
usually we
balls.
get it, right? Right. Yes. We had a lot of
So
good
I'll
times.
do one newsy thing
Okay.
because I know you're very outspoken. Sims
my-
actually thinks
Okay.
that the way that the Giants handled this with Eli was classy. His thought.
Yeah, I did not think it was horrible. I didn't think. I mean, there's no easy way to do this.
There's
That's
no
my,
easy
my
way.
thing, right? So I just thought, hey, listen, they gave him the opportunity. He can go out and have the consecutive start. I'm not trying to disrespect Eli. He's the greatest quarterback in Giants history. I understand that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He's the greatest?
Yeah, Dad said he was going to cut me out of the will when I said that yesterday. He goes, so I got to readjust the will. But yeah, I just think, again, it wasn't a disrespectful way. I just don't think there's any easy way to do it. That was my take.
There isn't an easy way to do it. I mean, look at his brother, Peyton Manning.
Right.
I mean, this is Peyton
That's how
Manning.
everyone
right.
wants to go out.
No,
with a
well, he
small-
didn't
The
go out
Colts
great.
send him
No.
to go ahead
Right.
to Denver.
And even when he got to Denver, look how different.
Exactly
he was
right.
benched
We're gonna
as
bench you
well,
for Osweiler.
But this is a different situation. This season is not because it didn't go down the drain because of Eli's play.
right.
So I can understand the sentiment there and how people rallied around him. He won 2 Super Bowls, but like you said, Coach McAdoo is in an unbelievable situation, in a tough spot. But hey,
They got to run their business. They're trying to win
No
for the
one
future
wants
too,
the
so they
dream
got to
to
start
end.
doing it.
No
Right.
one wants to say goodbye
Right.
to Eli. It's hard, but the problem is you know this. You got to play for something, and they're trying to look at the future. You know what
It's
I'm
just
saying?
it's just a tough situation. It's a tough situation for Eli. It's a tough situation for the organization, Coach McAdoo. I don't think anybody wants to be in this situation. I mean, this is an unbelievable year for the Giants.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? I mean, everybody going into the season, everybody thought that we
Picked you
would
for
be
the Super Bowl.
correct.
Had to pick you on the Super
And
Bowl,
that's
right.
one of the reasons why I
came
wanted to go there.
there.
I
Sure.
even consulted with this guy, and it just didn't work out.
You're back next year, right?
Yeah, I'm healing up and working hard.
I
so
got one last
get
question, then
ready
we
for
got to let you
next
go. You have now been in the media for a long time. You've
Yeah.
seen it. And I ask you this all the time. What can we fix? What can we do better? Do you still like media? Do you still think it's good?
I don't like media, but I love I love football.
Sharing your insight.
Correct.
You like
correct.
straightening out the media
Yes.
That's what he's
storyline.
doing.
Well, I can't say I don't like media. I
gets
do
you-
like media. I just don't like some of the
The playbook
people
that they
in
do.
the media.
Gotcha.
I think that
It's fugazi.
back in the day, the relationships were better. You had the reporters on the beat. You had them, sitting in a locker room, sitting in meetings,
Right.
going out to dinner with guys.
Understood
The relationships was there,
right.
you know, and it wasn't as personal. You know, they didn't report on guys' personal life
Right.
and go deep. Right now, it's too personal because there's so many, you know, bloggers and people, these drive-by reporters that come in, and it's, you know, it's just so much access to us, and it's just too competitive to the point where it's all about clicks.
Yeah, right. Want to make a big headline.
All right, well, let's do our last pick. Sit right here. We're going to show you what our job is.
Well, I have a
on
meeting to go
Thursdays.
to.
Yeah, go
Do
ahead.
you?
Do your meeting. Let
Yeah.
him go. Go ahead. He's got to do his
Peace.
thing. We
These
appreciate
guys
you
are
stopping
great.
by. You're the
All
man.
right, cool.
Good seeing you.
Put my
Are you
chair
gonna be
back
at the
for
Super
me.
Bowl?
Yeah, we will. Don't worry.
I think so. You gonna have me on?
So we're going to be at the Super Bowl.
You have
and
a free pass whenever you want.
whenever you want to come on, but
Whenever.
I would love to get like a round table of some really cool dudes that can just talk about
I want to
everything.
make sure that they give you guys a good budget where y'all can have a better setup. I don't like that
We ain't
the
gonna have
setup
shit.
last year.
You're right. I asked for that already.
did.
I
Good.
said that already. I said,
Bougie.
can we look
Hey,
at
I'll
that?
just say Brandon Marshall and Simpson.
All right, baby.
You're the man.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
See you, dude.
Last pick. It is going to be Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Monday Night Football. Steelers are 9-2. They survive Brett Hundley.
Right.
Cincinnati, Joe Mixon went off against the Browns. Bengals, 32nd offense in the NFL. Steelers, 7th offense, 4th defense. Brandon Marshall's the fucking man.
He's the man. Always has been.
He's the man.
Yes.
Tells it like he says.
Yep.
Everyone right now, I saw a lot of people while we were doing it and saying that they were really enjoying it. Holy shit, is this really happening?
So my
Marshall's
other thing too, I wish we could have talked about it more. It was him. You know, at first he was disgruntled. He wanted a new contract, and they promised him they were going to give it to him if he acted correctly halfway through the year. They didn't do that. So
This year?
No, the year I was in Denver with him,
yeah.
right? So that was the other thing too, is he would sit in the back of the meeting room with his feet up and his hood up because he was mad at them. And I got him to sit up in the front. I said, come on, man. You want them to pay you the big dollars. You got to go act the part. Let's go. And it was little things like that where we bonded. And, you know, it's always good to see somebody self-correct themselves. Not that I was sitting there the one to do it. He was an extremely intelligent person.
To me, the most successful people in league, in life, in business are people that don't see losses, they see lessons.
Right.
And the fact that people look at Brandon Marshall and they go, man, earlier in his career he was so mature. The fact that you don't see early in his career he was immature and now he's mature and don't go, wow, isn't that what you want?
Right.
I'll never get it.
Yeah.
I'm going Cincinnati, $10, 5.5. To me, this is a close game. I definitely think that the Steelers are going to win this game. I'm just looking at Pittsburgh and going, they always play down to their opponent.
They do.
And I don't like Pittsburgh Steelers spreads that are above 3. Could Antonio Brown go off? Sure. But you know what else could happen? A.J. Green could catch like a 70-yard bomb against this defense.
You're right.
I'm going to go with $10.
We saw it. I get you there. I'm going Steelers for 10, but I'm only going 10. And a lot of those reasons that you said, yeah, there's some things there that are troubling as far as the matchup. I'm picking the Steelers to win the game 27-17, okay? But yes, I could see it being 20-17 too, just as easily. So
I've
that's
always
why I
thought
went $10.
Cincinnati matches up well with Pittsburgh.
Well, they're not intimidated by them. I
No.
mean, Cincinnati's one of those teams, again, when you walk on the field and see them in person, you go, ooh, they're a little bit bigger and more impressive in person than TV does them justice for. And they're not as scared of the physicality of the Steelers and the Ravens and those type of teams. So they're willing to mix it up. You're right. They still have dangerous players. I do think they can contain that Pittsburgh offense to a degree. And yes, Pittsburgh at times can sleepwalk against teams they know they're better than.
Man, yeah, I'm just looking back right now, and a lot of people are excited about Brandon. They say that I was flirting with him. They're saying that it should be the S&M show featuring Lefkoe, Sims, and Marshall. If you cut me out of this, I'm going to be sitting on the couch.
S&M show featuring Lefkoe.
I was going to say, S&M is not a good title for the show. All right, so those are all of the picks. Let us now, hold on a second. If that Streif story is correct.
What?
Wow.
What?
Bleacher Report app.
Streif for the Saints?
Saints offensive tackle Zach Streif will not return this season after ongoing surgery.
All right, well, they'll be okay.
Break it down. Offensive line, tackle
they'll be okay.
situation.
Well, they'll put
So
Ramczyk
is at left tackle?
No, Ramczyk is right tackle, where he's
Teron
been a
Armstead.
little bit, right.
So the thing is the Saints offensive line would have been incredible with
Right.
Streif because it would have been Armstead, Streif with Ramczyk at what guard?
Like
Left?
right guard,
Right
Pete
guard,
at left guard.
Pete at left guard,
Right.
Unger.
Yes.
Is
Watford's the right guard now.
So now Man, they're so deep.
They're so good. They did a great job, right?
The only problem is every game I turn on, Teron Armstead has played like half the game.
Yeah, he can play the full game. No doubt about it. It's a little scary.
Okay, I know we have, and then Hugh Jackson is ready for Gordon's return. Are you kidding me? Yeah, he's going to start. Our big bets of the week.
Yeah.
You are going 270 on Washington. I'm going 300 on Green Bay underdogs at home. You are going 900. I'm going 300 on New England. That is the Lefkoe Sims lock of the century, of the year, of the week, of the day. I am going Minnesota 340. You agree Minnesota. I'm going 100 on the Jets. You agree on the Jets. I'm going 100 on Indy. You agree on Indy. You are going 300 on the Chargers. I have to agree with you. It's starting to look good. And then I'm going 100 on the Saints and Rams. Lefkoe locks. I am definitely going Patriots. I believe that I am also going to go Minnesota against Atlanta.
Okay.
I think I'm going to make Green Bay getting points at home against Tampa Bay. I just want to bet against Tampa Bay.
Right.
And now I'm thinking, do I want to go New Orleans or do I want to do the old Lefkoe switch and go Chargers? I think I should go Chargers.
I would have more faith in that now, but listen, you beat me in this more than I beat you, so.
Yeah, but you're on a fucking tear, and sometimes you need to admit that. But Indy 100 against Jacksonville 9. All right,
Don't make that a lock.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chargers, I think.
Right. Yes.
Either that or Jets getting 3 against Kansas City.
Right.
It's not a lock. It's not a lock. Chargers are a lock. Done. You know what time it is?
Oh, baby.
It is time for Guaranteed to Lose. 5 teams that Sims absolutely knows will L-O-S-E, lose, lose, lose. He'll hear from my family. He'll hear from his family. Sims, where do we start first?
Oh, nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Hello, Buffalo. Yes, you're going to lose. You might have heard the greatest team we've ever seen is coming to town. Oh, it's Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. I can guarantee it. You will lose, Buffalo. Sorry. See you next week.
Next up, Sims.
Oh, well, I got to sees it to believes it, and I don't believes it. So you're going to lose. San Diego is hot, and you're the Cleveland Browns. That's all I can say. You're going to lose. See you next week on GTL, Cleveland.
Every week is a guaranteed week for the Browns. Sims, next.
Sorry, Seattle. The Seahawks are going to lose. There's a big eagle coming to town. He's going to beat your Seahawk. He's a little stronger. His talons, his beak are all bigger than Seahawks. Not good. He's going to feast himself on a little ocean birdie called a Seahawk. Sorry, Seattle. You're going to lose.
Next up, Guaranteed to Lose, Sims.
Whoa, well, you don't even exist in this part of the country. Yeah, Bengals, I don't know where they got that from. But yes, you're going to lose because it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they've been beating Steel all week long. And they're ready to come to Cincinnati and win. They're just better. Plain and simple. Sorry, I am the Oracle. They are going to lose because I say so.
And last but not least, GTL.
Oh, hello, Indianapolis. It's the Colts. Yes. Little baby horsies don't do good against Jaguars. They eat them. Sorry, Colts, you're going to lose. This Jags defense is a real deal Holyfield.
That was great. And here are your 5 teams guaranteed to lose. We have 3 home teams, 2 road teams. Bills, Browns, Seahawks, Bengals, and Colts. And in case you forgot, Chris Sims last week went 5-0, guaranteed to lose. Special shout out to Brandon Marshall coming in.
Yeah, B. Marsh.
That was great. Shout out. Coming up next, right here on Facebook Live, is the College Football Show with Steven Nelson and Michael Felder, breaking down everything when it comes to the final round of 4, who's getting into the playoff, who is good, who is great, and who is not. If you guys are subscribing on iTunes or however you download the podcast, we appreciate you, Sims and Lefkoe. Hit us up on all social accounts. It's at Sims and Lefkoe. That's Twitter, that's Instagram. Coming up right now, though, it is going to be a conversation with Moose Johnston. We're going to talk about all the games coming up this weekend. Talk a little bit about Cowboys in the 90s. It's great. We love you guys a lot. We're working together this Sunday.
Yes, I'll be there.
Check out for winners and losers. Love y'all. For Sims.
Peace out, homies.
Fendrick would say good evening, and the Lefkoe
Man
says good night. Holla at your boy.